So last year I had the pleasure of working on 2 songs off the last Young Blue album, Distant Lover and Waterfalls, and today I'm gonna break those down, as well as showing my process behind how I made some of the melodies. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first one I'm breaking down is Distant Lover, and I did the sample with the homie Ryan and Francis.
My everything, you are.
So Ryan sent me this 5-minute recording of him singing and Francis playing the piano, and as soon as I heard it, I knew I had to flip it and chop it. So after messing around with the sample, these are the chops that I came up with. The next, I decided that I wanted to process the piano and the vocals separately. So using Isotope RX, I extracted the vocals and the piano, allowing me to further change and edit the sound. So after getting the piano, I pitched it down and I added some effects to get that like R&B feel, such as chorus, reverb, and a compressor. And for the vocals, I kept the processing pretty simple, using back the same reverb and chorus, except this time I have a little delay going on top of it. Then next, I added another chop on top of this that plays towards the last bit of the bar. And finally, I added in this last chop, which is essentially just like a transitional vocal that plays at the very end of the bar. And I put a lot of delay and reverb since I wanted it to just echo out throughout the mix. The next one is Waterfalls, and for this one I did make the sample by myself. So I start off the sample with these 2 pads that I got from the CS80. Then next I have these 2 pads underneath the main pads, and they're doing like this wave motion that I crafted using a shaper box. And I processed all the pads the same, mainly chorus and the reverb. Next, I went on to do the vocals, and the process for the vocals weren't really that complicated. I just sang the first thing that came to my head when I heard the melody, and I just stacked up the harmonies until it made sense. And as for the processing, I put on a lot of reverb, chorus, and some delay in the back. And one of the last things that I added, and one of my favorite parts of the sample, is this sine wave lead that I have going on. Now I have this acting as sort of like a counter melody that comes in towards the end of the first bar. And using the CZV and the amp simulator, that's how I got that very boxy sound, which really rounds off the sample nicely. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for supporting me. If you are part of the Patreon, you would have seen this breakdown beforehand, as well as gotten some of the sounds that I've used in these projects. Also, don't forget to check out my Spotify if you want to hear more samples like this. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.